All right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of the one most compassionate, most merciful, most kind. This is Mark. This is a Heart of Business Learning community, and this is the clinic on copywriting. I'm delighted to see you all here as people pop in. Let's um, let's just take a moment to drop into our hearts. I've had a very busy day myself, and I want to really be present. So I just want to invite everyone, just nice, gentle breaths. So much room to feel exactly how we're feeling. Not needing to change anything. And then beginning to call to the divine, to the open doorway of our heart. Is love available even here? Is the divine present even here? And just becoming aware of what you're needing or wanting from today's call. Um, Yay, look at all the people. Open my eyes and there's more here. Yay. Um, so today's topic is copywriting. And as usual with these clinics, I want to do some framing. I want to mention a few things about copywriting before we dig in. And the first thing that I want to say is that the way that I define copywriting is writing or content, could be video, could be other things, content that is created that is intended to support people in making a decision about an offer. That's what I consider copywriting to be. Like the intention of it is to support people in making a decision about an offer. The toxic approach to copywriting is writing that is intended to get people to buy. Notice that is not what I said. we don't want to get people to buy. We want to make it safe for people to step into offers that they want and or need. So we are not trying to convince people to buy. This is such a weight to take off of our shoulders and to take off of copywriting, because that's where copywriting gets gross and weird. So that's one thing I wanted to say. Another thing that I wanted to say is that copywriting only needs to provide enough information for the decision that you're asking for. So for instance, if you're wanting someone to sign up for a free webinar, or you're inviting people, I still fall into that language, I apologize. If you're wanting to invite people to sign up for a free webinar, that decision is not as big as, you're inviting people to join a $4,000 program. And so you want to be thinking about the nature of the decision that you're asking for and what's needed to help them decide. Similarly, if there's an offer that is a paid offer, are you wanting someone to click a buy button, or are you wanting someone to just fill out an application or fill out a form to be able to have a conversation, meaning they're not making the actual purchasing decision? So it's like we're really thinking about, what is the decision I'm really asking for? And that's what we're thinking about with a sales page, with copywriting, with a sales page. There's two more things that I want to mention. One is that these pages are having a conversation with someone about an offer. They're having a conversation. If you were to get on a call with someone who already knew you and knew your work and was interested in an offer and didn't know anything about it except maybe the title of it, and you were then to get on and explain who it's for and what it addresses and what's involved, and and go into all the details of what it is and how it works and why you're qualified to do it, and just answering all the questions that they might have. And then they might ask more questions and then you answer those. If you were to record that and then print it out as a transcript, let's say you were on the phone for 20 minutes or 30 minutes with someone, I think we can all agree that a conversation like that would easily be 20 or 30 minutes, if not longer. And you print out the transcript of that. Have you ever, if you've ever looked at a play, like the written version of a play, that's a 2-hour play, and it's 200 pages of dialogue, right? It's long. It takes up a lot of space. Even a 30-minute conversation is going to take up pages and pages and pages. And so copywriting a sales page is actually a more efficient way rather than just printing out a dialogue like that. And so when we get caught up in trying to make it short, I want to encourage you to think about sales pages not as long or short, but complete or incomplete. Do they have what they need to make the decision, or do they not have what they need to make the decision? One small paragraph and 3 bullet points is not enough to make a decision about a complex offer. To feel safe to make a decision, to feel really complete. And then the final thing that I want to mention around copywriting is that the approach that I take is not like, I think a lot of people think about writing a sales page as like, oh, I've got to sit down and I just have to write it. And it's long and there's a lot there. And, you're staring at a blatant page and you're thinking of it as a creative process. It is a creative process. There's actually absolutely creativity. But what I like to think of is I like to think of it as assembling a sales page. There are different elements that are needed in a sales page to be complete, to bring the information that people need. And you can write and you can create those separately. And then you assemble the page rather than thinking you have to sit down and do it in one long narrative swoop. And I think that for people who are creative and write, who are writers, maybe you do want to sit down and just write it. I tend to sit down and just write at this point because I've written, I don't know how many sales pages and edit, I don't know how many others. But I want to say that you don't have to do it that way. You can think about, from the quick and clean sales page, quick and clean landing page module, or from the customer focused story. What are the elements that are needed? Can I create each of those elements over the course of several days? And then can I assemble the page, making it an easier approach? So those are the pieces that I wanted to mention. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Ariane. So that said, I want to get into the clinic.